Do alien implants help with health? This is a fascinating idea that's been around for a while, but there's a new interview with a woman that claims to be an alien hybrid who has had lifelong experiences with the beings. And she sat down with Linda Moulton Howe and talked about this recently. She's got x-rays. She's got magnets that show where these implants are. She seems very credible. So let's talk about this. This is a fascinating subject. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like. Please subscribe, share on social media, and as I'm going through the story, please comment below and let me know what you think. Oh, also, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. See the first link in the description, or simply leaving a tip in the tip jar with the Super Thanks feature below. Okay, moving on with the story. I love Linda Moulton Howe. I watch a lot of her programs and shows. She's a fantastic journalist that's been around in the business for a long time, and she gets really good interviews with interesting people. And this one is a really fascinating interview with this lady who has been in, a relationship, if you want to call it that, with the beings since she was a little girl. Since I think it started when she was 3 years old, if not before. I say if not before because a lot of times this is generational. So who knows how long this has been going on in her family. But at any rate, she has these alien implants, or if you don't want to use the word alien, then implants by the beings. And they form a very clear pattern in her body. There's some right there, some along her spine, some in her shoulders. And she believes these may be put in her to help with her health. Now, this is a really interesting idea. She's not the first abductee or contactee to say that her implants may be health related. That's an idea that's been around for a while, and it very well could be the case. I don't think they are tracking mechanisms. I don't think they need to implant a tracker in somebody. They know where you are. They know everything they need to know about you. So yeah, don't think if you're a contactee you're going to be able to have any secrets from these guys, unfortunately. But so what are these implants? Whitley Strieber has an implant, and he believes it's helping him communicate with his deceased wife. He sees these in his eye. That's where he sees this information given to him by this implant, and it gives him like words and stuff, and he's able to use that to speak with his late wife. In fact, they've written at least one book together, and I read it. I think it's called A New World or something like that. Fascinating book. Highly recommend it. It's good reading, whether you believe, they wrote it together or not. So, okay, that's one example of a use for an alien implant to communicate with beings that have moved on beyond our mortal coil. But what else could they be used for? Could they be used for healing purposes? Well, this is what the lady that Linda Moulton Howe interviewed had to say.
Sid Goldberg suggested Kate get strong neodymium magnets with a 9-kilogram weight pull to find out if they would stick to her skin like Natalie's arm magnet did, and in what patterns. Here, 5 neodymium magnets stuck above implants embedded in Kate's upper chest in a very smooth curved pattern of equally spaced magnets. In other words, the magnets are only where they are because an implant is directly under the magnet. If you move the magnet a tiny degree, they will just fall. They are in this pattern because of the implants that are under the skin and in the tissue. Here is Kate showing a sketch on her right of the magnet distribution on her whole body at the U.F.O. Congress this past September in Barcelona, Spain. That's where I first saw Kate's x-ray of 3 magnets in her right shoulder, that marked the location of 3 mysterious implants below her skin.
Here I have these tiny little neodymium magnets. They are quite strong. They are not any magnets that you put on the fridge. They can actually hold 9 kilos, after what I've told. So my friend Sid Goldberg, he said that buy those magnets and stick them on the places where you think that you perhaps can have implants. And of course, normally when you're testing it, it's important that your skin is clean, not too warm, not too cold, as neutral as possible. Then you stick them on to see if. And of course, sometimes you can really look carefully, because if they are even a ½ centimeter off the point, they will fall off. But my nose is the strongest point, so it will not fall off.
And medically, they have not found an explanation for why that should stick on the bridge of your nose.
No. So if I do it on the other side, it will be the same thing here.
And if you come down further, how will it stick all along your nose? So only a very specific part of the bridge of your nose.
Yeah.
Now, what else? Cheeks, forehead?
I have 2 here.
Can you
Here.
show?
No, it's too much makeup. They will not stick. So, but the nose is the best area to stick them. But on the picture, you can see I have here on my nose, 2 here, 5 in the front, and all the way down my spine, and also a few areas in the front.
And you discovered all of those places by yourself, or did somebody just put them all over you? And
No,
then
I had some help from a friend. So we were going on a little research party, as long as we bothered actually to do it.
And does the X-ray that was taken medically match all of those spots that you have had them stick?
So far, yes.
And what was just any reaction from a medical person looking at your X-ray?
They were just wow. But of course, they will not put their name on it. So they are just backing off.
What are they afraid of?
They don't want to have their education and their name put together with the U.F.O. I'm not sure if the implants are also there to help me out with comes with the physical condition, because in my family it runs with a super high blood pressure. We're talking about 200, above 120.
Oh my gosh.
This type, and my mother, she has severe heart problems, and a lot of her brothers, sisters, and uncles, and so on, they have died just passing 50. I'm not using any kind of medicine or anything. I also have 3 implants as a triangle under my heart area. They also had a connection with a guy that was a chiropractor, and he also had this X-ray machine in the back room. And of course, no one of this kind of people or doctors, they want to have their name associated with implants or aliens.
Fascinating, right? So what do you think? Are these implants used for healing purposes? They do seem to heal contactees or abductees of maladies from time to time. That is not an uncommon feature of having a relationship with the beings, whether that's because they are kind and benevolent beings, or because they need you alive to help with their program, is another question. What program? Well, the main one that we know about is the hybridization program, and this lady in this interview claims to be, a hybrid. So, and that is very common, and that is very prevalent and a widespread part of what they are doing here. There's a lot of evidence for that. In fact, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence for that. At this point, I would find it difficult to find enough contrary evidence to debunk the phenomenon of the hybridization program. The best information I've found about it that goes into a lot of detail about what the hybrids are doing is the book by David Jacobs, Walking Among Us. It's a great book compiled from countless sessions that he's given, hypnotic regression sessions, where he has uncovered memories that these contactees have of these encounters with the beings going back decades. And, with each patient that he has sat down with to regress, he has, in many cases, regressed them hundreds of times. So he has a lot of information on each one, and he has put all of this information together in his books. And his most recent one, I believe, unless he's come out with one since then, is Walking Among Us, or They Walk Among Us. And it's just a brilliant book. You may never sleep again, though. The whole phenomenon of the hybridization program is a subject for a different video, but it's important to illustrate why they're here, because that could shed some light on why they would put implants in people. It would make sense for them to want to keep their contactees alive and healthy so they could continue to engage or to participate, or whatever you want to call it, in their hybridization program. There are also other programs. There's one experiencer who recalled having his consciousness placed in the body of an alien or a non-human being and then transferred back. So there are consciousness programs as well. Those don't get talked about as much, and that makes me wonder if that's because it's very much a minority of cases, or if it's because it's even more secretive than the hybridization program. Either way, it's fascinating and unnerving. I made a video a few days ago about how sometimes aliens or the beings will heal people. That doesn't seem to have anything to do with the implants. So if they need implants to heal people, why are they running around just, waving their magic wand and healing people? Is that a different technology used by different races, and one race uses implants and another doesn't? Or implants are for long-term issues that need long-term support? Like the lady in this interview, her family has a history of heart problems, so that's a long-term problem that she might need lifelong support with. Just a thought. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Smash that subscribe button and the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Please consider becoming a channel member to support Cosmic Road to allow me to spend more time on these videos to make the best quality videos I know how, because you deserve that. Also, please consider simply leaving a tip in the tip jar with the super thanks feature below. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road.